I'm not putting you on the court of public opinion because I don't think you shouldn't be on trial.
We do. We think you should be.
Yeah.
Now,
Guilty.
Put him in the chair.
Yeah.
Previously on Jim and Them, my favorite YouTube channel.
The key line is it I'm not the joke, you are?
Corey, to tell the story of the joke, has to basically tell the story of his whole musical career.
There's a lot of hot takes on you on YouTube. I noticed
Exactly.
that.
Yeah!
Woo! 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 Thanks, Billy.
Yeah, you boys.
Love 2 of your albums, Billy.
Tonight, Billy.
I mean, I guess it really is. He's trying to just build a narrative. And the narrative is that we just keep talking about him because we get so mad that we're trying to take him down, but all we're doing is just making him more famous and more loved.
What have you ever created, Jim? By the
That's
way,
true.
You're making him rich.
Yeah.
I didn't watch this video, but I looked at the comments. Even people that are completely unrelated from us is like, this all sounds delusional and crazy.
You're right.
Like none of it. It's just like the only positive is like he went through a lot. It's
Yeah.
all anyone can say.
Yeah. Or Goonies is my favorite. That type of shit.
By the way, you can get tickets to my recent show at da-da-da-da-da, right? So they're like plugging themselves as they're trying to desecrate my career.
Patreon.com/Jim and Them.
Patreon.com/Jim and Them.
Merch.jimandthem.com.
Yep.
Get your Corey Buster shirt.
Yeah.
This guy who came out after the Today Show and he stood up for me and he said, you know what? It was art. It wasn't bad. People try to think it was bad. It wasn't. Let's look deeper at what he's doing here. This is ingenious. This is great. This is da-da-da. And I was like, wow, look, somebody gets it. This is awesome. I was all excited.
It was a mirror.
That same guy comes back 5 years, 7 years later and goes, I figured out the Corey Feldman thing. It's all a joke. Nobody can be this
and
terrible.
we
all
wholeheartedly
the time.
disagree. We hate that guy just as much as Corey.
Well,
Yeah.
what's great here, listen to this, because Billy Corgan thinks we've finally come full circle in the story and we're getting to the song The Joke.
Not even close.
But Corey is actually saying, like, no, this guy's dumb. He thinks I'm messing around, but this is real. Like, my music is real.
I figured out the Corey Feldman thing. It's all a joke. Nobody can be this terrible
Thank you for completing
all
this
the time.
loop. I feel like I got to the end of the
But now
movie.
you're understanding.
Okay.
It's this guy, the same guy that was praising me and saying how great the things were that I was doing because they were so different and edgy and whatever.
Okay.
Is now coming back.
Because
to
I
me
saw
saying,
this in getting ready for this interview.
So
I
you
saw
know what
where
I'm talking about.
I saw where people were.
And
See,
they're
I like Billy Corgan just decided to barrel over him because that was not his point. Like, what Billy Corgan thinks the point is right now was not the point.
Yeah, they're on 2 very different pages right now.
The point is on him.
But he does outright ask him. He does say that he sees people saying that it's an act, and he does ask him about it. And I'm glad this gets brought up because we still get comments all the time of like calling us dumb because we don't understand that Galaxy Brain Corey Feldman is actually just trolling the world or whatever.
Yeah, and we didn't know those were 7-year fans that used to think he was edgy and artsy.
Yeah.
But now they're like, wait, it's a load of crap, and he's doing it on purpose.
they're
questioning
taking
whether
clips.
you're doing some kind of weird performance.
Right, because they're taking clips. Okay, I'm sorry, but you've toured for 30 years. When you've toured for 30 years, how many times has the sound gone out? How many times has the lighting guy
Never.
missed
Oh
the
my
cue?
God! If you just took my bad moments, I mean,
That's what I'm
it's a shop
saying.
of horrors.
Like, how many times have you hit your tooth into the mic? How many times? I mean, it's just,
We have that clip.
Yeah.
That's awfully specific. That's a pretty specific example.
Yeah, he's not
How
going
many times have you been like trying to turn your Hornetron off and plug your guitar in, but the song's already started?
How many times have you done your wardrobe change and they play the click track before you get out on stage?
just happens. It's called being a rock and roll guy. It's what you do.
Yeah.
So we deal with stuff. Stuff goes wrong constantly.
Yeah.
And we're constantly having meltdowns and we're constantly...
I love that.
You and me, we're always having meltdowns on stage.
I love that he barrels. He knows those are the bad parts, but he just barrels through. Don't give him a chance to say anything. He's like,
You get it.
we're always yelling at our band.
Yeah, you're on stage. You're a guitar player. He can't put his guitar down for 1 second and turn on the snow machine, and you have to yell at him. You understand it, Billy.
And we're constantly having meltdowns, and we're constantly acting like everything's okay to get out there in front of the audience and put on a smile.
But for the sake of this, and I feel like this is even so beneath us, but Can you tell me definitively? There's nothing performative about what you're doing. You are doing what you want to do.
It's all performative.
No, but I mean performative meaning you're playing Corey Feldman, the crazy rocker guy, as
I'm not. I'm just me, man. I'm just me.
I know
I'm just
that
the
because
artist. I'm
because
just doing what I do.
even though we've had these 2 encounters,
Right.
2 to
Got
12
him.
encounters.
Well,
Yeah.
whatever they might be, yeah.
But my point is I know that's you being you because I've had the pleasure of getting to know you a little bit.
Right.
So when I see you on television,
Hey, guys, guess what?
I know that.
I'm not perfect. I'm goofy.
No,
I'm
but-
awkward.
But I'm saying
I am as imperfect as God made me.
I like the idea of you. Maybe it's
He's adorkable.
Yeah, he's adorkable. He's quirky. Yeah, he's just a quirky ass white boy.
Yeah, he's just an adorkable little guy. Knocks his tooth out and yells at his guitarist all the time.
Yeah.
I love
Being
that Billy's
Corey.
trying to give him an out, but he won't let him.
Yes. Billy Corgan is constantly throwing him life rafts, and Corey Feldman's just punching him away every time.
Tearing him in half.
That's because he's still in Titanic mode.
So now it's like, you know what? Fine. How about this? If you want to see it as a joke, you go right ahead and you keep propagating that while I'll keep making my songs and we'll keep getting more and more followers and
so. What's
audience
the
members
what's the is
and
the
bigger
goal to just
venues and
Have
Not
we,
fans.
Have we seen him get more followers and fans?
So, Jim, is this whole interview just Corey answering that one question for 45 minutes?
Dude, essentially. I mean, it does get to a little bit more, but yes, it's so wild that the question about the joke just goes on and on and on.
and spreading the love.
so
That's
what's
the goal.
what's the dream
is-
goal?
It's spreading the love. That's it. You know, I want to write positive
Dude, Corgan
music
can
that
tell
means
that's a
something.
fucking vapid
I
ass
want
fake
people
ass
to be
answer.
inspired by the words and the feelings that they get and the musicality.
Walk me through this. You're on stage, and you know we all see who's in the crowd, right? And I definitely can tell when people are there not because they're in love with my band,
Right.
right? Arms crossed,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
hipster beard.
Yep.
What's your inner psychology at that moment when you're dealing with that's
I know
called
what his
Yeah,
outer
that's my band.
psychology
and
is.
an overt positive?
Yell at my band.
Yeah, yell at your band and then yell at the audience and threaten to
Yeah.
leave.
Get flustered, fumble with the cord as I'm trying to plug my guitar in.
Shit my pants.
I can't pick up my Hornetron.
Yell at my wife.
Watch what happens in the end.
Which is
They always walk out with a smile.
Yeah, they're all like, ha ha.
Now, either they walk out or they walk out with a smile.
I like
Yeah,
how he
when they walk out-
quickly had to be like, well, maybe not always with this.
Dude,
They always walk out. That's the point of rock and roll, my guy. They leave, smile, no smile. Sometimes they're laughing, they're calling me slurs. That's rock and
keeps
roll,
saying-
my dude. You know how it goes.
He keeps saying all this shit that works on these dumb YouTube shows where they're like, "You're right, Corey," and Billy's just like waiting for what he's saying to make sense. And when
Yes.
it doesn't, Corey keeps having to be like, and like add to it to have it like actually make sense.
Even he was like, maybe that's a little too far, saying that they all leave with a smile.
because a lot of times they're overpowered. So in the beginning days, or the early days, I should say, and I don't want to say early days, 'cause the early days it was all love. It wasn't until the Howard Stern era that,
Sure.
you know, them throwing these tags on me that people started doing the crossed arm, you know, side eye stuff. But once
Wasn't
that
until my
started,
first song.
yeah, it was real obvious, and it was 50-50.
You know that era.
So I would say half the audience is. It's not going to be me that drives you out of the room. It's going to be the joy and the love
I
and
love
the
that.
positive feeling from the
Yeah.
rest of the energy that makes you feel impish and insecure for trying to hate on something so positive.
You know
So
what's funny is if he
where I come-
actually followed that, he would have so many less worries. He would be so like his life would be so much less stressed than it is, but he can't follow that thing he just said. He is too obsessed with everyone seeing him a certain way.
That's what
Absolutely.
I'm trying to do. Spread the love with my song about fuck you haters, I'm rich. You keep watching me.
I'm going to go out there and do my job the best that I can do it every day. And when they love it, I love them back. When they hate it, I love them anyways.
That is not true.
These are evil,
Well, Jim,
sick,
He went on
twisted
Instagram and
people.
told us how much he loved us. Then he invited his wife
Yeah.
to add anything to how much he loved us if she wanted to.
I want my fans to eradicate them with love.
Yeah.
We're certainly not telling you to go after Jim and them, but, you know, maybe helping us make sure that their channel is eradicated forever.
Yeah.
He got rid of our first YouTube channel because he loved us.
Yeah.
Too much.
Even if you hate me, then I'll just eradicate you. Me and my fan base will destroy you.
How
I'm
about
not mad at anybody that spends money on tickets to my show. I'm not mad at the guys that want to put on the Corey Feldman Rocks tank top for girls and booty shorts and stand there in the front row with a beard going, yeah, man, yeah. You know, cool. If that's your trip,
that really stuck
do
with
it
him.
up.
Yeah,
Some guy did a goof on him.
it probably was just a gay guy that liked him, and he thought it was a hater.
Nah, it's probably someone like us.
you're right.
We've
Adorable that
tried
you
to
guys
buy the
think that
tank top
even
at Hot
happened.
Pants a couple times.
Oh, you don't even think it happened, Mike? He just made
There's
it up.
no way that happened.
I don't know. This just look like the face of a liar to you, Mike. Look at that little chirp smile.
Yeah.
Off of this, when you've been memed, I've been memed. When you've been mocked or whatever, you know, you're held up as an object of derision or, you know, even like the joke of the day, right? You know what I mean? I've been there, you know, Family Guy or whatever, right? I'm saying is you have to have
Something
some...
Family Guy did really stuck with Billy Corgan.
Yeah, apparently.
Because he definitely hasn't been a meme.
form of entertainment that keeps you
It's called a deep fortitude.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it a f you, I'm going to keep at it, or is what
No.
is...
No.
Okay.
It's for me. It's like, look, you built this thing. Okay. I am a product of your creation,
When you say you, who's you?
the universe, the world,
He had no answer.
Are you talking material or spiritual?
spiritual and material, both.
Okay.
Because look,
saying nothing.
I didn't choose to be an actor. I
Every
didn't choose
time
to be
Billy asks her a
famous.
question, she's like, yeah,
Yeah.
everything, all of it, whatever.
Dude, he crumbles under any question. Like he just speaks in these like empty like nothingness, and usually whoever it is around him, like Adrian Skye, just like looks at him and nods. Or Courtney Feldman, like a couple intellectuals he usually runs with.
Yeah, it's all vapid platitudes that geniuses like Courtney and Adrian just don't get.
Yeah, the guy living in his bathtub.
Yeah.
None of these were my thoughts, my hopes.
Do you
my
remember
dreams, my
acting that
goals.
young?
I remember all of it.
Can we
my
get to the
point
acting,
is,
please?
My grandparents.
He remembers all of it, but he doesn't remember auditioning for Stanley Kubrick. But not to Jim and them nitpick.
You are going to do
Somebody made that
this.
choice for you.
I didn't choose to be famous. I would have never chosen to be famous, knowing what I'm up against. I would have looked at all this and gone, "No thanks, I'm
What,
good.
all the
I'll
love
stay
and
in the
support?
background."
Now, one thing I'll give it to him is that, yeah, he didn't necessarily choose it. I don't believe that he wouldn't choose it if he was given the choice, though, because clearly we know he loves any type of attention.
Maybe I'd been a lawyer. Maybe I'd been a doctor. Who knows? But I probably would have ended up in entertainment just because I love art. And I'm always going to have that artist in me because that's part of who I am. That's my makeup, right? But that doesn't mean I would have been the guy in front of the camera. You know what I mean? Like, I may have wanted
From
to
Adam
just...
in the chat. That's why he quit acting when he was emancipated.
No, exactly. Like, I don't get how he could even try to pass this off. In 2010, when, like, he could have had this journey of being behind the camera or being a producer or being like, whatever... He didn't. He became Corey's Angels, and he's constantly been trying to put his face out there every chance he gets.
Yeah, he went viral on MTV.com.
That's true. Got 2 million hits in like a day.
That private guy that
Right.
sits in the closet and does his art and puts it out and doesn't tell anybody who the hell he is. Who knows?
So what age
There's
did
no
that happen?
going back. I think 18, when I got sober. You know, I was in a really bad place. I mean, I'd done a lot of damage in my career, and I take responsibility for that. I was the one partying on the set. I get it. I wasn't being professional. I was showing up late. I wasn't knowing my lines. I deserved to get my ass kicked a bit.
He must have been
That
a
was
nightmare.
fair, you know? But where it wasn't fair
We're
was
used
when
to
I
sober,
did
Corey.
get my life together. I showed up. I suited up. I did what I
Imagine him. Sorry, that's just the joy he brings me.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's the thing we can't deny is we get so much joy and all these people. He is giving us some sort of joy. It might not be the joy he wants, but he's giving it to us.
It's
was
like if a really funny train wreck happened.
Yeah, over and over and over again.
And then the conductor kept getting in other trains and crashing it.
So
Heard
you're
being an
sober and you
idiot,
go, I'm ready to go back to work, and what happened?
And I got B movies up the ass.
Why didn't they let you back in the kingdom?
because they didn't know which way I was going to go.
Because I look like this. I'm a literal goblin of a man. Billy, are you open your eyes, sir?
I can kind of see lips in this still. Do you see the lips?
Okay, here we go. I could kiss that.
They almost look like they're CG'd on, but you can kind of see them. Yes, we nitpick. We nitpick Corey Feldman, and I guess to the layman, to the non-expert, you'd think that we're haters. But we're protecting his legacy. I stand by this. We're here to protect the legacy of Corey Feldman, young Corey Feldman. And if he learns anything from us breaking him down, is that all he would really have to do is stop with this they shit. Since he's like, I take responsibility, but then he's constantly like, they won't let me do this, they won't let me do that. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's elements of that. Like, there are gatekeepers in Hollywood that if you piss people off, I'm sure it's very hard. Like, we've seen it a million times with different actors.
Yeah. They leave you voicemails, and they're like, "You'll never work in this city again.
Your name is
piece
Mud.
of shit."
Your name is Mud in this town. But he doesn't take any responsibility for it, and it's constantly other people that are not letting him do what he wants to do.
Did they tell you anything at that point? I guess that's the collective they.
But
But you definitely felt the cold wind blowing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was no, like I said, I was auditioning for these major roles, for these major films, and I was getting shut down every time. Either I would get...
So they still let you come audition.
Right.
Okay.
But then that became a
so then
thing.
it's a
because then I started...
talent thing, Corey. No. They didn't let me audition. In fact, I wasn't allowed anywhere.
getting so like insecure. They're like, well, I'm not getting the parts anymore. I used to walk in the rooms and I'd get every part I went on. Now I walk in the room and I'm laughed at, or I'm feeling like I'm being mocked. So it was like, okay, well, if I can't be this guy anymore, then I guess I just have to make enough great independent art films to prove to everybody that I'm serious. So I did the schlock movies in the beginning.
He did.
Then I realized that was only a detriment to my career.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, can't do that anymore. If it's not art, I'm not doing it.
Because you could have done that into infinity.
Of course. They may never let me back into the big leagues. This may be, I'm an independent art guy for the rest of my life. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because as long as it's art, I'll be okay with it.
Right.
No more with the B movies. No more with the schloggy stuff. I'm done. Unless it's a wink and a nod to me making fun of it. Yeah. But I'm not doing it for real. And that started in 95. And from 95 on, you can look at the
That's
catalog.
sort of around the time when I first met you.
95
well, that actually makes
on.
a lot of sense.
Oh,
You look at 95, and he didn't make any schlocky garbage movies after that date.
Yeah, right. I mean, 2009, he definitely didn't make Hooking Up. So
No, not a single bad one after that year.
Rating the success of that journey that you've been on since that age, 22, 23. Where are you at on that?
Oh, man, it's been like a roller coaster. Come
No,
on.
but where are you at on the roller coaster right now?
I'm pretty high.
Feels like it, right?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I feel like
I thought you were sober, bro.
On Cali sober, you get it. I basically high 24/7.
biggest
Question 2.
accomplishment out of all of them is my beautiful son. That's the greatest part
Oh, he's shutting out Zen.
because it's authentic. It's real.
We love Zen. We're big fans of Zen over here at Jim and Them.
You know it.
Do you feel you've been able to help your son avoid some of the stuff that you've been through?
Absolutely.
Isn't that, in a weird way, the most healing thing?
Oh, it's amazing. The last thing he wants is to be an actor. It's the last
But
thing
even
he
like,
I like
let's
how
call it
that's clearly not what Billy Corgan meant. He was talking more about like the abuse, the drugs, like stuff like that. And he's like, well, no, he's not going to be an actor. Thank
All he
God,
does
Billy.
is chug one shot of wormwood a night, and he's good to go.
He's getting certified in sound baths.
He's never had to do blow. He's never had to do blow.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
just saving him from that journey.
There's the line for the T-shirt.
I mean, the thing is, it's weird for him to even say that because you don't know. At least from an outsider's perspective, I wouldn't be surprised if someone was like, "Oh, Zen did blow before."
This is the conversation I hoped we'd have, so I'm really enjoying it. I mean, let's face it, being in a movie is fucking immortality. I mean, you have a certain immortality because you've been in some of these incredibly classic, I don't want to call it kids movies, but I mean,
I hear you. I mean, look, for me, it's kind of like, oh, that thing, like I don't really spend much time thinking about it.
But let's try to flip it on its head, because obviously we talked a lot about a lot of hard stuff.
Yeah.
Do you feel good about the art of it all? Or is it too painful for you?
To be honest, no. And I'll tell you why.
I kind of believe. I think this is kind of a good answer. On
This
what he
sounds
says
real
here.
already.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why.
Because I want to understand. I don't want to be that guy, but like, I like the movie, so you should too.
Right. No, I mean, Goonies is a good movie. Don't get me wrong. Lost Boys, great movie. Stand By Me. I'm just, 18 number one films. They weren't number one for a mistake.
Hold on, but we do need to.
18?
We do need
It's
to pause.
not 18.
Even though I feel like he's about to kind of give a real answer, we do need to get into this a little bit. Now, I actually was thinking about this, and Roxy in the Piss Court, shout out to Roxy, she checked into this with AI. So she gave a list of all his movies, said based on, which of these films was number one. And what AI said is based on the information available, the films from your list that reached number one at the box office are The Goonies, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Friday the 13th Final Chapter, Stand By Me, and The Lost Boys. But your boy over here, Jim and them is fair. I'm not going to believe fucking AI. So I went in and dug into these films.
Okay.
Oh my God, you did it.
And do you want to just hear? You want to hear the number ones? Because there's some number ones here.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
His first number one that I could find, anyways, going through his filmography, Stand By Me.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Then we have Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter.
2 great movies.
Then we have Friday the 13th, The New Beginning.
He is technically in it for 30 seconds.
Yeah, right.
They filmed
Is
in
it
his
reused
backyard.
footage?
No, they filmed in his backyard,
Yeah.
and he's just like, no.
Then we have The Burbs. Then we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. Because I guess he wasn't in the second one. It might have something to
That
do
was
with
the
his...
number one? The third one? That was the one, like, even kids didn't like that. Turtles in Time?
You got to think kids did like it. Then we have to jump to Maverick. And then the only other one I could find was Dickie Roberts' Child Star, which he has a cameo in that. So we got 8 number ones. Now, surprisingly, when you look at it, Gremlins was not number one. Gremlins was number 2. It peaked at number 2. It was number 2 for like 2 months.
And you can see why we think of it as a number one.
Yeah, it was because it came out at the same time as Ghostbusters. Even The Goonies did not reach number 1. The Goonies was number 2 at the box office for a few weeks. It was behind Rambo First Blood Part 2, which was beating it every week. Oh yeah, Lost Boys. Lost Boys also did not hit number 1. It was number 2. It lost to a movie called The Living Daylights. Oh, it's James Bond. Okay. Then we got, I knew it wasn't going to be, but I double-checked Dream a Little Dream. Dream a Little Dream peaked at number 5. License to Drive peaked at number 6, behind Coming to America, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Arthur 2, Big, Bull Durham. Man, we used to be a nation. What a great handful of movies.
Flicks all the time.
And I, for good measure, I checked Bordello of Blood. That was a Tales from the Crypt movie, just because, horror movies will sometimes just break out their first week. But no, that peaked at number 9. Everything else, didn't. I even checked Fox and the Hound, but that didn't hit number 1 from what I could find.
It's got to be like other countries then, right? Because that's what he likes to do, is just find an excuse where you can technically call it a number 1.
Yeah, that's even giving him credit on it's just not something he made up. If we tried to go through his rationale, because he's also in TV movies, do you think maybe because maybe a TV movie was number 1 that week? Do you think he's counting that?
If I'm being super fair, Jim and them fair, what I think probably happened is someone told him that, and he just said, oh, okay.
And I know what you're thinking at home. Who really cares? We care. We're going to post this shit up. Why are people
Play
not
the
asking
sounder.
of it? Yeah.
But that said, when you look at success as a kid, you're looking at success through the lens of, this is what mommy and daddy told me to do. This is why I do what I do. I am being a good boy, and I'm doing what I'm told.
And by the way,
my job.
you're winning.
Winning.
I don't even think of it that way, though.
I understand, but I'm saying if your kid's trying to make a parent happy and you're doing a great job,
But they don't tell me I'm doing a great job. They're beating me. They're taking my money. They're locking me in a cage. I mean, it was, everything you could imagine without the
They're
actual
putting me in a
physical.
catapult and flinging me over the walls.
The cage was a bunk bed that I was tied to while I was being beaten. So, I mean, yes, it was basically
That
like
is
a cage.
the movie
And-
Full Metal Jacket, which he lost to in the
Yeah, he was up for Gomer Pyle when he was 12 years old. I mean, it is wild if that was happening, but if his parents are beating the shit out of him, which apparently they were, and it hurts even more because they're beating the shit out of you and taking all of your money that you were making.
Yeah.
Was not allowed to go out, was not allowed to have sleepovers, was not allowed to have other friends, was not allowed to ride my bike because I might fall and hurt myself.
Okay, this is a strange way to come at this.
I'm just saying I had a
No,
really
no.
tormented childhood to get to the point where everybody was entertained. when people go, oh, but you made all these great movies and look at these accomplishments. No, those weren't accomplishments. Those were doing what I was told all the way through. It wasn't until I made a choice that I'm going to continue this career. I'm going to find challenging work that interests me, that excites me, and I'm trying to convey a message of positive energy and love because I had to go through hell.
Now, what's funny though is like on one hand, I do feel for him,
Yeah,
But-
that seems very authentic.
but on the other hand, he's saying that everything that is good that people like him for, he's not responsible for.
Well, yeah, when he stopped doing what they all wanted him to do, that's when his
When I
terrible
stopped
career
listening
started.
to everyone around me, then I really hit the shitter.
Never go down these roads and make those same
I want to belabor it
mistakes.
just one more time. And I hear what you're saying. I mean, I feel emotional.
So when I look at the work,
I'm so emotional.
okay, I
right
think
Yeah.
this is
now.
where you're going.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Well-
even let Billy Corgan have a moment to like try to let that breathe or anything like that. Nah, he's gonna barrel right over him.
Look at the work, I go, well, that's great for what it was, but what's an accomplishment to me? An accomplishment to me would be right now making a film that everybody appreciates and goes, this guy's a brilliant actor.
Please.
That's an accomplishment.
But those
in the
movies were
industry.
successful because you were a brilliant actor when you were a kid.
No, because I was one of many brilliant actors.
Yep.
And I was part of a very brilliant crew.
This is
with
real
a brilliant
shit.
director,
I guess-
a brilliant producer, a brilliant writer.
I'm not
What
trying to be your
saying is-
therapist, but I
what I'm saying is this, what matters now is what matters now.
would not, on some level, making peace with your childhood work be healing for you?
I'm at peace with it. I'm at peace with it. I have no negative connotation. Because you asked me, was there something redeeming about it all?
Yes.
There was something, we never got to that. The love. Yes, for all the fact that there is this dark power that controls things in the industry or in politics or in wherever you want to go with it, there's this darkness that looms over, but there's also this beautiful, amazing light.
That's all I was after.
Yeah.
That's
and
all.
I mean, it goes both ways.
So at least you understand why I was harping on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I'm so
you get what
eternally
I'm
grateful for
absolutely.
those
I get
connections
it.
that I
Cuts him
had.
off.
Yeah.
So you get what I'm going. Yep.
Yes. Let me talk more.
Steven Spielberg treated me beautifully. Just today, Stephen King tweeted a picture of him holding my Funko Pop that I gave to you, and he's like, I got a signed Corey Feldman Funko Pop. He spelled my name wrong, but that's okay. It's the fact that Stephen King, one of the
It's so fun. Well, anyone else, I would take that as just a self-deprecating like
Not Corey.
tag. But we know Corey too well that he was annoyed.
He was really upset when Stephen King was like, I got a Corey Haim Funko Pop.
greatest writers of the world is, flaunting his proud possession of my signed doll.
Now you should retweet it and then misspell his name. Last thing, we live in this crazy country, which is so in love with its own culture. We've been able to export this culture to the world, you working in movies and music, me working in music. And yet, like we've talked about, we both experienced, let's call it the darker underbelly of what really can happen to sensitive people in a very brutal game.
All artists are sensitive.
Yeah, but some are
Dude,
really
shut up.
sociopathic and are able to navigate.
Yep.
I'm not mentioning our common friend, but go ahead.
I like he thinks that he's getting at Marilyn Manson. Is like, no, you dummy.
When we go to the American public and we say, hey, have some empathy or have some understanding for our journey and how it's kind of knocked us around. I'm not putting you on the court of public opinion because I don't think you shouldn't be on trial. You know what I mean?
We do. We think you should be.
Yeah.
Now,
Guilty.
Guilty.
Put him in the chair.
Put him in the cage and beat him.
Yeah, tie him to a bed.
Yeah, get his mom here. Come on.
I know from my own experiences when I have tried to go to the American public and say, hey, cut me a little slack, give me a little bit of wiggle room. I'm just a human being here. I play vampire on TV, but at the end of the day, I still got to get up and navigate whatever the this is.
I still got to be able to look myself in the mirror in the morning
and
and put my pants on one leg at a time.
And you can take this or not. But I mean, you know, I was born a weirdo. You're born a bit of a weirdo. You know what I mean? We're like,
wake up in the morning and look at my mirror pants and put them on one leg at a time. And I'm like, there I am, there I am, there I am.
And then look at
I
my
look at my mirror
jacket.
pants and put on a different pair of pants.
I look at my mirror pants and jump right into them.
having said all these things and explored all these things, what would you like people to understand is the most important thing that you want them to understand? I've gone after what I wanted to understand, and you've been very transparent. I appreciate you for that. But what do you want people to understand?
I guess that it's all authentic. It's all real. What you see is what you get. I don't play games. I don't put on phony personas. I don't play a character. You know, the love that you see in my heart is pure.
Now, I want to pause this for a second. I want you to really take in what he's saying here. I'm just authentic. I'm me. I want you to keep that in mind because we're finally almost at the end of this. Keep that answer in mind when we get to the very end of this interview, because the very end of this interview is one of my favorite things. Just when you keep it in regards to what he's saying right here to this question.
I don't play a character. You know, the love that you see in my heart is pure. The anger that you feel is justified. And the pain is weathered.
It's almost hard for people to navigate living in a culture of falsehood that there are people who are actually real people.
Authentic, yeah.
Authentic.
It's hard.
Yep, real people.
And I guess, you know, I did...
It's like reminiscent of like Almost Famous. Like, hey, just real Topeka people,
Real
man.
Topeka people.
This
Look
lamp
at-
is real. You're real.
This bedazzled hat is real. Why didn't
Real
you
ass
put your
people every
ponytail
day.
through it?
These platform shoes are real.
Yeah.
Dell's podcast as part of this launch of the new single. And the tour, Low Serve Ill, by the way. Go get your tickets.
Low Serville?
Low serve ill.
Low Serve Ill, that's the name of the tour. You know, like we're going to give you a low serve and it's going to be ill. Anyway, so...
Even
Wait,
Billy,
why isn't he explaining the real name?
No, and Billy Corgan has no idea what he's talking
Billy
about.
Corgan doesn't know what he's talking about. He's genuinely confused about the name.
Low serve ill.
That's going to be all over the country. You can get tickets, VIP tickets at my website.
I saw the tour dates. That's a big tour.
Or you can come get VIP tickets only at my website, which is not being advertised on the Live Nation.
See, he's already getting into it by the end here. He just had this, took his voice down as he was like, hey, authenticity is important. Just real love, real emotion, real art. And now he's talking about the fucking VIP tickets, and he's even mentioning, like, he's annoyed clearly that Live Nation won't put that on the website.
Does he bring up the box set?
Mike, give it a moment.
Yeah,
You might
Mike, Jesus.
No.
You watched this before?
CoreyFeldman.net. That's the place where you can come and
You
get
didn't get .com? Somebody stole it from you?
Nah, somebody stole it. Yeah, squatters. You know how that goes.
I've been there.
But I was trying to get to the end of this.
Sorry.
Now I forgot where I was going. What was
Oh,
the
God forbid someone
authenticity?
interrupts Corey.
Right. Wait, selfless, shameless self-promotion.
Self-promotion mixed with authenticity.
Right, of course. The authenticity is I am a workaholic.
Yep,
I love helping people.
of course.
And I get pure joy out of enlightening others.
You'll never work in this town
So
again.
if I can prevent somebody else from having to experience pain that I've already struggled through because they're willing to listen and not too bullheaded to think, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about, but you know, they actually take the time to listen. Hopefully I can save them some pain, some heartache, and help people who need that and are ready for that help.
And last thing, he didn't choose to be an actor.
No.
So what do you choose to do now?
Write beautiful music
Ugh.
and inspire.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
So they
And there we
tried.
have it. Should I
Oh, yeah.
plug this real quick?
Shame.
Dun-dun-dun, shameless self-promotion. This
I love
Oh,
it.
yeah, should I fucking...
I love that.
Just real music, man. Speaking of real music. Oh, fuck.
Oh my God, he's given like 2 fucking hours to plug shit, and then he waits till the fucking show ends to pull the fucking
Well,
box
now,
set up from behind his chair.
there's a lot of successful YouTubes do that.
And it's almost done as like a Marvel post-credit scene, kind of, because
Oh,
like
my
it
God.
clearly was it. Like it was over, and you know, like Billy Corgan probably wanted to end it on that. Like, you know, he kind of had this poignant question because Corey kept saying like, "I didn't choose this. I didn't choose this." So he's like, all right, what did you choose? And it's like, there you go. And he's like, all right, well, what about the, when can I?
Your name is Mud if you don't put my box set in the. Yeah, no, I think it felt like a good ending, Corey. I don't know.
Yeah.
And inspire.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
And it's
And there
over.
we have it.
It's over, right?
Should I
Oh, yeah.
plug this real quick?
Shame.
Dun, 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 shameless self-promotion. This is my box set.
Oh
It is
my
available
God.
only at CoreyFeldman.net. It comes with 4 CDs.
Listen to the voice change so quick too. Like, even if you like him, how do you get to the end of this and not second guess every little moment that he's had that you maybe thought was genuine? It's all about the fucking box set.
Dun, 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 shameless self-promotion. This is my box set. It is available only at CoreyFeldman.net. It comes with 4 CDs, 2 DVDs, a documentary about how I got into the music industry.
Yeah, look, he has to read the back. I wish
There's nothing on the back.
we don't even have that cool sticker on the back that lists everything that's on there.
On the back it says, "Make sure to plug in the first 2 minutes."
Yeah, bring it up at the beginning, please.
And why, and a full 50-page.
Yeah, I wish we had that. We don't have that.
What the hell? We don't have a hologram. We don't have the details on what's in this motherfucker.
Because he took the candy out. He took the hologram out.
A documentary about how I got into the music industry and why, and a full 50-page color magazine that looks like a teen magazine,
Color
complete with
magazine.
a pair of Wayfarer-style sunglasses and some musical
He's
pics.
really
and
losing steam.
I like how even he's like, oh my God, is this what's in the fucking box set?
That's
Those
it.
glasses are so uncomfortable. By the way, I can almost never wear them.
backstage passes and all kinds of fun stuff.
Dun,
Box set,
dun,
new
dun,
album,
dun, dun.
Love Left 2.
It's not new.
Point 1.
There you have it.
I like that they left that in there. There we go. I guess it was about the box set. So yeah, I mean, that was quite a journey. Thank you, everyone.
We don't gotta lie, we don't gotta fake. We cocoa bars, we don't pump no brakes. Wolfpack's new, but the rules stay the same. Expose fake legends, put them all to shame. Keep lying, Corey, keep crying. Jim and them, we stay thriving. Cocoa Bonds, out.